Recently, I stumbled across this little black pouch. And what's inside? A time machine. Yes, a time machine that would take me back to one of my more memorable days of my radio career. And really, it was the moment that would eventually bring you and me together right here. Hey, I am Jeff, the radio DJ dude, and okay, fine, enough suspense. So inside this little black pouch, a really cheesy, old school action cam from Kodak. It's wild, but the thing still works. And incredibly, there is an SD card inside. June 15th, 2012. That was the date stamp on the file, and that was my very last day on real radio. That was my very last broadcast on Westwood One, which at the time was Dial Global, one of the largest radio syndication companies in the United States. And after a 14-year career slinging hot country music to stations all over the country, I hung up the headphones. And this little baby was rolling for my entire last shift. I promise not to bore you with the whole shift, but I've cut down a short video air check of the experience, and we'll give that a watch, and then we'll chat about lessons learned from 14 years on network radio, and why I decided to pull the plug. Okay, roll that cheesy video.
We are on the air.
Let me take you back to a Los Angeles radio studio, June 2012. Something to do with my hands. Woo! Make balloon animals.
Hey guys, I'm Billy Kern.
We're Rascal Flatts.
Hey everybody, this is Josh Turner.
And armed with a jug of Aqua Velva and a can of spray-on hair.
Ooh la la.
I am Jeff Scott, keeping your toes moving to another hour of the best country music.
I got my toes in a while.
Love her angel thighs. Hello, my name is Jeff Scott, inviting you to flap your angelic ears over to 888-938-9038. I've got your favorite song.
Ooh, all right.
Like Keith Urban.
Friday night in the
Cha-cha-cha. Cutting up the AstroTurf for Josh Turner. Also Jason Aldean in there. One of the finest handcrafted songs called Flyover States. Thank you for flying nonstop with me. My name is Jeff Scott. Hello.
Wanted to hear Six.
When's the last time a guy picked ticks off you?
Never. I wish.
No, you wish. This is something on your bucket list. You're looking for a good moonlight picking.
Yes, I am.
Have ticks will travel. Oh, if you're itching from the ticking, Jeff Scott's ready to come a picking. Woohoo! As patriotic as deep-fried Twinkies and Tang. I'm rolling. The good stuff. Eric Church, Springsteen, less than 8 minutes away. But first, we're saluting the red, white, and blue with Toby.
I'm just trying to be.
I am so drunk.
Burps, always a big cume generator. Listeners love burps. If you're ever sagging in the ratings, cue up some burps. That's free consultation advice. Perfect song for Dad drinking on it. Yes! You've just made your daddy proud. I am Jeff Scott, bringing out fresh stuff from Kelly Clarkson. Everybody now. Whoa, 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 whoa. More whoa, whoa for your Momo. And your Papa, too. That is Eric Church, one of my faves. Springsteen. My name is Jeff Scott. What is your fave? That really is all that matters right now. And you can tell me toll free 888-938-9038. Tell me your story.
Whenever I'm talking to you,
Yes.
I'm usually sitting.
I recommend all ladies who are about to call me definitely sit down. By no means am I bragging, but my infectious charm has actually been known to cause some people to pass out.
Wait, hang on.
The Centers for Disease Control has just put out a report speaking to the infectious levels of my charm. Unless you have a robust immune system, I caution you. Well, it's either my infectious charm or my body odor. We're not sure.
Oh, my.
Those tests have not come back yet.
It is
I hear it. Going. Hi there, I am Jeff Scott.
Hello, Jeff Scott. You're my banjo hero.
Oh, I want to be your car maintenance hero because you could grab $50 to spend at Advance Auto Parts and $50 in gas. We are hooking you up. Get yourself entered now at newhitcountry.com. It's brought to you by Advance Auto Parts, where service is our best part. And we're pretty good at playing the music too. New Kix Brooks.
I'm sitting at
Oh, I wanna.
Hey guys, I'm Billy Kern. We're Rascal Flatts.
Hey everybody, this is Josh Turner.
I am Jeff Scott, and better than clothing optional backgammon at the Senior Center. Oh, you've been. It is another hour of the best country music.
They say
Rockin' Kenny Chesney for Marlene and Toby Keith. Oh, isn't he singing our song on Dad's Day weekend, beers ago? My name is Jeff Scott. Okay. I don't ask too much of you, but here's what I need you to do. Just sit back, open something cold, and hang with me. I've got a huge, honking, steaming announcement in less than 10 minutes.
What the heck are you talking about?
Like I said, crack open something cold and wait for it. ZBB, my name is Jeff Scott. Of course, night would not be complete without Tipsy Susie.
Hold it. I'm going to fart in the phone.
Really?
Yes, I got one. Quick. Hurry. You ready?
I guess.
Hold it.
How do I get ready? I'm nervous now.
Damn it, you missed it.
Oh, the anticipation was over the top, and you let me down. I had a big announcement.
Damn it.
You stole my thunder. Are you
Wait.
gonna be okay? Somebody call.
I'm out of breath trying to hold it, man.
Well, I had a big announcement.
Oh, my gosh, Jeff. What?
I had this whole moment planned where I was going to slow down and take some time because it's pretty heavy and deep. And I was going to tell everybody that, right now, this is my very last broadcast. And how meaningful the past 12 years have been, how this has been such an awesome joy to be able to connect and talk to great people like you. And it's given me such richness and joy. And then you steal it.
And I couldn't do it. I'm going to cry.
Well, me too. Oh, come on. Be strong.
I want to tell you something.
What? Oh. The 12 years have been worth it. I wanted to go out on a high note, and I think I achieved that.
more than music, what radio should be. Great memories. Stereo.
God, watching that, the only thing I could think of, why didn't I have more fun? So, what have we learned? Well, many of you have already tuned out and said nothing. It was true back then, it's even more true today. Ditch the cliche, can the expected, so you could pot up the original and unexpected. Every time you crack that mic is an opportunity for you to really shine your own light, fly your freak flag, unleash your unique personality. And don't take any break for granted either. One, in the old days, you never knew who was listening. Maybe it was the program director of another station and they had a big change coming up and they hear you who's just bringing it, hitting it every break. Well, that's good for your reputation. But not just for getting, other jobs. It's your own personal sense of satisfaction knowing that you brought it all. You squeezed that creative orange every time you went on and filled all your listeners' cups with your sweet nectar. Ugh, this is disgusting. Well, these days, sharing your nectar with listeners could land you in prison, so let's maybe avoid that. But you get the analogy. Today, when I scan the FM, I'm just amazed how many jocks are phoning it in, doing the absolute minimum, not realizing the coveted position that they're in to be able to truly rock a live radio mic today. Oh my God, that is a privilege, considering the few to almost non-existent opportunities for gainful employment in broadcast radio. To have that opportunity and to waste it, I'm sorry, that's shameful. You're doing the medium and you're doing yourself a disservice. Many a program director in the past, and half of them have fired me, used to always say, you're only as good as your last break. And those words still ring very true. So as radio personalities, it's always on us to find new ways to say old things. I mean, how many times can you deliver that weather report? No. Spin it around, turn it on its head, hit it from a new angle, unleash some untapped creativity on that weather report, and that perks the listeners up because they weren't expecting that. And anytime you could wake a listener up out of their daze, that's an incredible moment for you and your radio station. And then they kind of subconsciously bookmark you as, oh, that's that station that likes to have fun. You never know what you're going to get when you tune in. Another takeaway is something that you've heard me drone on and on about forever is the power of the phoner, airing phone calls, putting listeners on the air. That honestly is a secret weapon. And as you just heard in that demo, I didn't just cherry pick the bits where, oh, that is a phoner, let me put that in. No, honestly, I'd say 80 to 90% of all my breaks had some kind of a phoner element. Like I just said, anytime you could wake a listener up from their stupor, that's a great thing. And phone calls do that. Because, come on, after a while, listeners are used to hearing a DJ's voice. But when you then interject a new voice, a listener, maybe someone just like them, then they perk up and they lean in because they don't know what's going to happen next. To me, phoners are like televised car chase. Reality TV, they're unscripted, you're flying without a net, and the magic is the listener does not know what's going to happen next. So they stay tuned in, hanging on your every word because it could either go very wrong or very right. But at the end of the day, for you, either one is very right. And I get it, if you're on internet radio, it's definitely tougher to build a library of listener phone calls. But one way to do that, and a way to kind of nudge your listeners and let them know that you do solicit and welcome their interaction, is to kind of prime the pump early on and use AI to create some of your own listener phone calls. Now, I've done a whole other video about that, and I definitely encourage you to watch that. But I still maintain, for me, listener interaction and all those phoners was definitely part of my secret sauce. And every, aircheck critique session with program directors over the years, they always mentioned, oh, love your use of phones. I always appreciated that kind of feedback. And so much for not phoning it in. The final tip, well, just have some freaking fun, will you? You are in such a unique position to be able to rock a radio mic, to be able to command the moment and broadcast live to who knows how many, 5 to 5,000 listeners all at the same time, to put a smile on their face, to combine your skills with passion. I mean, that cannot be underestimated. Come on, how many people could do what you do? So never lose sight of that special opportunity that we all share as radio broadcasters. Maybe opportunity is not even the right word, but responsibility. Because in our hands and out of our mouths are opportunities to transform our listeners' lives. Sure, maybe we put on one of their favorite songs, it gets them up, gets them moving, and they forget about life for a second. That's great. But they can do that with 538 other streams of music on their phone. No. Never forget the role that you play in this puzzle. And it all starts up here with your creativity, your original thoughts, your funny quips. But this transformation only happens if you're breaking the mold, if you're busting the mundane, if you're breaking free of the expected. No one's moved by that. Your listeners feel it when you're bringing something fresh, something fun, something that's uniquely you. Now that they can't get anywhere else. And that is what you need to focus on every time you hit that mic button. Have you ever done a belly flop into a kiddie pool filled with Jell-O?
No.
Well, I'm sorry, you're automatically disqualified. So the big question, why did I pull the plug on 14 years, at a job that you saw I obviously enjoyed doing, and I did. Those were some great times. I so look forward to that shift every week. It was a true creative playground. But you know, you have to keep in mind at that time, voice tracking was really taking hold, and it was really changing the whole landscape. The reason I got into radio was the promise of, a live hot mic, and it would be transmitted live, and we'd share this live experience together. Well, that was about to go away because the edict came down that our 5-hour shifts now would basically be condensed to a 2-hour recording session where we'd track the whole show. And I think we had added responsibilities. We had to actually cut custom weathers for 70 stations. It was nonsense. So at that crossroads, staring into a future that looked nothing like the past, I really just, had to have an honest moment with myself and say, is this why I got into radio? Is this still going to fill me with the passion and excitement that this medium used to? And clearly, the answer was a big, honking, neon flashing no, it wasn't. I didn't get into this business to record on-hold advertising messages. No, there is zero passion for that. I bowed out, and I've never been back. If voice tracks were just getting old back then, voice tracks are almost the rule of the day today. So I don't know if there is a place anymore for old radio DJ dudes and dudettes like myself who so value the live experience, and honestly, listeners do too. And that's the sad thing. The medium really has denied listeners the one gift, the one selling point radio has over any other medium is that live personal connection. And that, for the most part, has been ripped away. It just comes down to, if you don't love what you're doing, you gotta go find something that you can love. And don't get me wrong, I do love and cherish all my decades of radio memories. Live radio memories. Whoop, whoop, woo! Honestly, thank you for humoring me, my trip down broadcasting memory lane. Those 14 years at Westwood One Dial Global were truly magical. And it was only after it ended that I realized what really an important role it played in my life. And I think it's now a role that internet radio can play in all of our lives. It becomes a creative outlet, a creative playground that's so needed for all of us. We need these avenues of creative expression. And as I've shared before, internet radio, doesn't hold a candle to real radio. The excitement, the electricity you get from hitting the mic button, potting it up, and broadcasting live is unparalleled. It's unmatched. And internet radio really lacks that dynamic. But that doesn't mean that it isn't a great outlet for, creative tinkering and radio itch scratching, because it is. And I've had so much time building and operating XXX80s that it really has added a lot back into my life. And I think you feel the same, and that becomes a motivating factor of you wanting to start your own internet radio station if you don't already have one. And this is a perfect segue to point you to my Dudafesto, my video where I break it all down and expose you to the naked truth on why you should not start an internet radio station. So please watch that video. It's my no-holds-barred, unvarnished opinion, and hopefully you see the silver lining and you get a positive kick out of it. If you enjoyed our little first-class stroll down radio lane, woo! Hit me with a like and subscribe, baby. Honestly, I really appreciate your time, and I think it's wonderful what we built together. I love what we got going, this community of like-minded radio nutters like you and me. This is perfect. It's our little safe spot online to talk about all things radio. So I really do appreciate you. Thank you. And the little radio rodeo continues. And until the next time, please, you know where I'm going with this, keep rocking those mics all over the world.